Getting to the gym can be one of the biggest battles you have, right? Whether that's battling with work, family commitments, life throwing stuff at you, but that's not the only battle. The next one is, what do you do when you even get to the gym? Guys often build a bit of a barrier when it comes to training because they won't have a plan. So when they walk in, they don't really know what they're doing. They walk around aimlessly, they jump on whatever is free, and they put lots of effort in, but they don't see the reward. So it feels like, what's the point of even going? And that's exactly what Ben was doing before he started working with me. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through the 3-day split that we did to give him clarity and direction so that he could lose 30 pounds and feel confident when he was walking into the gym. Before I go into any of that, I'm Sam Fowkes and I've been doing this for the last 8 years, helping guys regain control of their physique, their health, without having to spend hours in the gym or doing plans that only athletes can do. I build plans for real life. The first thing I want to talk to you about was the split that we used. We did a 3-day week full body split. So no advanced techniques, no 5-day splits, no asking him to train every single day. It was basic core principles of full body sessions. So we knew every time he was going into the gym, his full body was getting hit. No chest days, no back days, no leg days, none of that. I'm not a massive fan of single body part days because we need more volume than once a week. And people don't train hard enough to hit a muscle group once. Ideally, minimum I like to hit twice a week, but that's why 3 days a week, a full body split is a perfect scenario for me. Ben was in a very senior role in the corporate world, so he was very short on time. He had a busy social life, had a partner, so we knew that time had to be used efficiently. So I like to use supersets. So this is where you pair 2 exercises together. You will do one exercise and go straight into another and then rest. I just find this to be the most effective and most efficient way of using time when you're very short on it. Keeping intensity throughout the session, we get more done in a session. So if you're very short on time and you're not using supersets, then I ask you why, right? Because honestly, you will build such better intensity with your sessions, you will get more done. But something not a lot of people are doing when it comes to training is progressing and training hard. If you are lifting the same weights you were 3 or 6 months ago, you are leaving so much progress on the table. And this is where I came into it because I was getting him to track those sessions. I built him a plan and he knew whenever he stepped foot in the gym, he had the previous numbers and was ready to beat them, ready to go at them, progressing each and every week. It doesn't have to be massive jumps. It can be 1 extra rep. It can be a cleaner set. It could be a slower set. It could be a 2.5 onto each end of the bar. As long as you are progressing in some way, that's what we want every time we go in. I'm telling you, it is something not a lot of people are doing, but we all need to strive for. When it comes to actually building out the sessions themselves in terms of the exercises we used, full body was the focus, but each session had a priority. So one session would have been the chest exercises, one would have been back exercises, another would have been legs, right? Because we wanted a general kind of balance through those sessions. It wasn't like Ben came to me and said, I want to grow just my chest or back is my focus. He was new to this. He wanted to just have a general transformation and go through the process and cover all bases. So we made sure that was the case. There was not one body part that was the primary focus, but in the sessions there was. So session 1 might have been chest priority. So we would have targeted that first. We would have done that as the first exercise paired with a lower body movement. And if you aren't sure about what actual exercises to use in the sessions, then I do have a free training program in the description below. It's 45 minutes a session, so if you are short on time, it is perfect for you. It uses the same core principles that I've used with Ben, so you know it works. Something else we got Ben to do during his sessions, and it sounds a little bit left field what I'm about to say, is we actually got him to walk in between his sets. So obviously he was on calls most of the day, in meetings, didn't really move around that much. So in his sessions, he would walk up and down each time he was resting. Again, it doesn't sound like much, but but he got sometimes up to 2,000 more steps in a session, right? And when you look at that, it makes a big difference because it just allows you to build a habit of moving more. And it carried on through his days when he wasn't in the gym. And you could see that in his tracker and in his data that his steps actually increased. But something I do want to emphasize alongside everything I've just gone through is nutrition and recovery were pivotal throughout this whole thing, right? We can train as hard as we want. You can progress each and every time you go into the gym. You can have the perfect split. But if you are not eating properly, if you are not recovering properly, you're not going to progress. So that has to have just as much effort as your training. And if you are overlooking that, then I'm sorry, you are going to spin your wheels for such a long time until it clicks and it'll hit you like a sack of shit because you'll put all this effort in and nothing will change. I have been there. I spent years wasting time, feeling like I was putting in loads of effort, training hard. Nothing was changing. And then it realized it was my nutrition. So if you are not putting as much effort into that, then you will not succeed. I promise you now. So I just want to emphasize that. And this is what we achieved with Ben. In 12 weeks, he lost 30 pounds, completely changed his physique. He was the fittest he ever was. He managed to complete a scuba diving course that he'd been putting off for months, if not years, because he wasn't fit enough, right? Got into the best shape of his life and he was confident when he walked into the gym. Something I will always shout about is keeping things simple. And that's exactly what we did with Ben. We did full body sessions. We did supersets in those sessions. We progressed and we were just really fucking consistent with it. So we completely transformed his life, and that is what it is all about for me. So I hope you found that useful and seeing what is possible when you keep things simple and having a plan when you walk into the gym, giving you the clarity and direction when you're there. But remember, go to the description and grab that 45-minute training program. It will give you everything that you need to see results just like Ben did. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.